Hey guys, so it's Sunday and I'm in my boyfriend's t-shirt and I just washed my hair, but I wanted to film this before it got too late into the month of July because, as you can tell by the title, I want to start a little debt slash spending series. And I've started this before. Well, I did like the debt chronicles basically about a year ago, and that is when I first started having to pay back my student loans, and I went through like this whole quarter life crisis. And yeah, so a year later I feel a lot better about the situation and I have a different viewpoint of my debt. What I figured I would do is share every single penny that I spent for the month of June, and I'm going to do this every month. I'm going to try it out for a few months and see the response. But so I'll share my spending, and then I don't really live by a budget because, as you guys will see, like my spending isn't absurd. I'll show you in a second. And then just keep you updated on where I stand with my debt. So what I did over the past couple of days is I printed out everything from June that I spent. I was writing down all of my income. I made a bunch of Excel sheets and things like that. And also, if you're interested in seeing all of the breakdown of my debt in detail, and I'm also going to put more of my spending in detail and type things up, check out my blog. That's just livinglikeleila.com, and I'll link it down below. I've been documenting my debt journey, like debt-free journey, since July of 2017, and with each post that I put on my blog, I share the good news and the bad news, and that the good news and bad news relating to my finances, my credit score, things like that. So I am pretty transparent with all of this stuff. I'm not afraid to talk about money. I'm not afraid to talk about debt. I don't care that you guys know my credit score. Like, I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. But this is just going to be more so my spending and all of that. So as of right now, my total debt is $73,550.14. That does not include the $7,000 that I still owe my sister. So the total would be about $82,200.14. I'm not going to count the money that I owe towards my sister as my debt because it's not accruing interest. It's not affecting my credit, anything like that. So I have been making payments for her each month, but I'm going to keep that separate from everything here. And the breakdown of that, about $6,500 is credit card debt. About a little over $48,000 is from my student loan debt, and then about $18,500 is from my car. It's a pretty decent amount of money. However, it's not that bad compared to other people. My student loans are, of course, the biggest, and that is where it's the scariest. And I think I could make a whole separate video about sharing student loan stuff and just college in general, because to be honest, I don't think a student loan of that size, or especially larger, is worth it these days. And especially knowing what I want to do, like I want to become a full-time YouTuber, a full-time blogger. I would like to start investing in houses and things like that. Technically, I didn't need to go to college. However, my job right now does have to do with my degrees, so it did pay off. It is paying off now, but for about a year and a half I was struggling. So right now I am making pretty decent income, and I am turning 25 in a few days, and I am making pretty decent income. I don't want to say the exact amount just because I don't want to get in trouble or anything. It is a comfortable income. However, that was not always the case. So as of right now, I can throw $600 to probably $1,500 extra each month towards my debt, but I understand that that is not realistic for everybody, and I was living that at one point. So I graduated with my master's degree in December of 2016, and I didn't start this current job until April 2018. So for that like year and a half, I was definitely struggling financially, and I was only able to pay a little bit extra towards my debt at that time, or none at all. And a lot of my debt, like credit card debt, did come from during that time. There was a period where I didn't lose my job, but I was cut down in days. So literally, in order for me to eat, in order for me to live, I had to charge to my credit cards. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. And throughout college, I did receive Hope Scholarship. That Hope Scholarship is something that's provided in Georgia if you have like above a 3.0 GPA and you maintain that, whatever. So that did pay a portion of my student loans. My tuition was actually paid for throughout my master's degree. However, I took out additional loans during my undergrad and my graduate school in order for me to live comfortably during that time. So I was working part-time. During grad school, I was working 2 jobs. However, I was living more comfortably. Like, that was just kind of a cushion and safety. And I knew that this would come and bite me in the ass later. And I understand that I signed all that stuff and that I took out too much and that this is not necessary. So I know it's my fault, and that's why I don't really get stressed out about debt anymore. One, because I'm more comfortable in my income range, and also because like I know I'll be able to get out of this. I know I'll be able to pay it off, and there's no point of stressing out about your bills. Like, that's part of the, my whole law of attraction thing is like you have to see paying bills as something positive, and it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's I'm still living a good life. That does take time though, because there were days that I was crying hysterically, and it was so overwhelming to the point of like causing me depression and not being able to sleep and just struggling a lot and struggling silently, because it's not easy to talk about. So if you're in that position, I feel ya. Just try to see the bright side of things and try to find some sort of program or plan for you. This video is going to be pretty long, as you can probably see, but I don't think my future videos will be as long, because a lot of this is me explaining about my debt history. My goal is to pay off all $82,000 of debt within 5 years. So by the age of 30, I would like to, or July, what will that be? July 2023, I think. And if I'd like to do that, I have to pay probably about $1,300 to $1,500 towards my debt each month starting now. So we're gonna make that as possible as we can, and I think I'm on a good track. Something I did want to share first is for my student loans. I started paying them in August of 2017. I have paid a total of about $3,200 towards my student loan debt, but the total amount has only decreased about $1,200, which means that about $2,000 went towards interest only. So that is something else to keep in mind when you are going to school. If you want to go to school, I think that if you really, really, really know, if you're 18 years old and you really know what you want to do, like you want to be a doctor, you want to be an accountant, you want to be whatever, something very specific that requires school. For example, you can't be a doctor without med school. So sure, you got to go through school and get your degrees and take out your loans, whatever you need to do. However, if you are on the verge of like, I don't know if I really want to do this, or if you are, more of an entrepreneur and you feel like you can do something on your own, I don't suggest school, to be honest, but to each their own. That's just my thought on it. And just, if you are still in school right now, I would definitely check out your student loan at this point in your college career, because about half the loans that I took out were accruing interest while I was still in school. So it just comes out like $10,000, $15,000 more than you actually took out by the time you graduate. So if you can afford to pay like $100, $200 each month towards your debt while you're still in school, I definitely recommend it. I know that's not always easy though, so just be aware of what you're doing, okay? Now, I'm going to break down everything that I have spent, okay? So every single month, well, this is just for June, so I'm going to share exactly what I spent for June. I put $1,573.29 into my savings. So my income is not taxed, so I put aside a percentage each month in order to, be prepared for that later on. In about January or so, I will be paying federal taxes. So that's what I put aside, but that's also just savings in general. And I don't touch that money that I put into my savings. My bank account also takes out some money from my checking account and automatically puts it into my savings account. I have Bank of America, it just does that. It's a few cents or a couple bucks every so often. I also have the app Capital with a Q. I highly recommend it. I will put my link down below, and you will get $5 if you sign up. You can tell it exactly what you want it to do. So for me, I have it round up every single dollar that I spend just to the nearest dollar. So if I spend, $5.50, it'll put 50 cents into my Capital savings account, and I don't even notice it. So I do really like that app, and I definitely recommend it because you don't notice it, and you're like, oh, cool, it saved me $100. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm not going to count that savings as spending, so that's just still my money, so we're gonna just put that aside. Now the actual spending. So rent/utilities, I pay that to my sister. I paid $700 exactly. $100 of that is towards what I owe her, so we're just gonna say $700. And we have a house together, but I just pay it all in one lump sum. And this amount also includes my car insurance because I'm under my dad's car insurance. So he pays for it. However, I pay for his phone bill and my stepmom's phone bill. So it balances out. It's about the same amount. So that's what that includes. For food, I spent $376.50. This includes grocery shopping each week, and this also includes going out to eat and things like that. Me and Sebastian and his family went to Florida back in June, so that's where a little bit more was spent. Gas, I paid $118.09. I get gas about every week. For health, $154.12. This includes my gym membership, my multivitamin. I use the Ritual multivitamins, and a massage. And I think a couple of other things are included in there as well, but those are the main ones that are coming to my head. My car, $1,000.20. So this is so high because $1,000 was the down payment towards my car. My lease ended last month, so instead of purchasing my lease, it was cheaper to buy a used vehicle, so I just bought my same exact car in a different color. It had lower mileage, and I just put the down payment of $1,000. $20 was for the tag fee. So yeah. Then credit card debt, I paid $692.38. So this was about $600 extra towards my debt. My minimum payments are about a total of $100, I believe, but I paid off extra. My student loans, every single month, I pay $288.37. My insurance, this includes my life insurance, my vision, and my dental, was $122. I do have health insurance through my job, and so it's hard to explain. My income is kind of hard to explain, but that's paid for by my job. For business, just $7.99. That is for my blog, just to have the hosting and the domain name. And that's every month. And then this includes clothes. So I bought Alphalete joggers. I bought CBD oil, Pandora, a couple of other things I can't think of. Those are the main ones that I can remember. That was $287.37. So all of that comes to a total of $3,766.82. And none of that was charged to my credit card, so all of that I spent through my checking account. I have not been charging to my credit card. The only time I do is I'll put all of my groceries and all of my gas onto my Bank of America Cash Rewards card because I get money back, but I literally pay it off the same day. Whatever I spent that day, I'll pay off that exact amount or a little bit more the same day so that I don't get charged interest on it. So personally, I don't think that's too bad, because next month or July, I'm not gonna have a $1,000 payment for my car. So that's going to go down. And the areas that I can improve on would probably be food. I do spend a lot on groceries, about $70 a week, but today and last Sunday I only spent about $40 on groceries, so I'm doing better already this month. So my goal for July is to improve my spending for food. And I don't typically go out to eat a lot. I have been going a little bit more lately, but nothing crazy. I don't eat out on a daily basis. I make my food at home, as you guys know. And then the other thing I can improve on is the other, so buying clothes and things like that. I really, less than $300, it's not too bad. And I'm not going to be buying like CBD oil again. Those are pretty expensive. So yeah, I don't think I did too bad. Everything else is kind of basically a fixed amount, which is what I was saying before. Like, I don't really have to budget. Like, it's not necessary for me because my spending is not out of control, and I know that. At a time, my spending was out of control. Like when I was younger and throughout college and things like that, I was spending more than I could afford. But at this point, I don't think my spending is a problem because I don't buy like crazy unnecessary things. Now, my plan of action as of right now is to pay off my credit card debt first. So like I said, I have about $6,500 left to pay off, and I think what I'm going to start doing is this month is start putting about $1,300 towards that, and I think I should be able to do that for the month of July. I will let you know in the next video that I make of this, but if I do that, I should be able to pay it off by the end of the year. And then once I pay off all my credit cards, I will start attacking those student loans. And that's what I'm excited for the most, because like student loans just piss me off, because you literally will pay, you know, your $300 towards it, and it goes down like not even $100. So it's so frustrating to watch your money just like burn. It's literally so aggravating. And then once I pay off my student loans, I don't know if I'm going to do like half extra towards my student loans, half extra towards my car. I don't really know yet. I also have a pretty high interest rate on my car, which after about a year, I am going to try and refinance it. I have tried consolidating my student loans. I was declined several times, so I'm just going to not worry about it and just pay it off, you know, because I do have 11 student loans all through the same company, but I have not been able to consolidate it, and the percentages are about 3.15% up to 6.55, I believe. And then my credit cards, 2 of them are paid off. The other 3, I think, have about like a 10 to 20%. I honestly don't know. They're honestly not that bad, because some of them I called to get them lowered. So you can do that as well. If you call the company, just ask if there's any way they can lower the interest rate. If you've been a good customer, like paid off your stuff and kept up with payments, then they typically will lower it for you. And also, with the amount that I am putting into my savings account each month, and I have already calculated what I'm gonna have to pay in my taxes since my income is not taxed, I should have well over $7,000 by January 2019 saved up, which I don't know where I'll be at that point. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna, you know, start looking to buy a house, or I don't know if I'll probably put at least like half of that towards more debt, but honestly, I don't know. We will see, but I do have a nice safety cushion now, and that was hard for me before. A lot of people love to throw out, like, when you're trying to pay off debt and stuff, they're like, follow Dave Ramsey and do his stuff. That works for a lot of people, but I don't think Dave Ramsey's stuff is anything like new. I think I kind of know, I understand, you know, how it works. and the 7 baby steps, I don't know, that's fine. That's basically what I'm doing, but it's not, I don't have any like exact plan that I follow. What I've realized is the most important when dealing with debt is, number one, to get control of your spending. So stop charging to your credit cards and stop going into further debt. Don't get a new car if you don't need to. That's probably one of the biggest things that I, not regret, but I don't think I should have leased a car. At the time, it was very convenient because I was a student. I was pretty low income, so I couldn't afford like a $350 monthly payment for buying a car. So I was able to lease a car at $200 a month, which is a lot more affordable. But it kind of bit me in the ass later this past month when I had to pay, you know, $18,000 for a Toyota Camry, even though I've already paid $7,000 towards the car. So it was just like, you know, it's a lot of money. So I'm basically spending $30,000 on a Toyota Camry at the end of the day, which is a lot. And then the other thing is that you've got to increase your income. So if you do have a degree and you have, you know, a bunch of student loan debt, try to find something in your field that will pay well. It took me a year and a half, like I said, and I applied to probably 80 plus positions. It was exhausting and so devastating and depressing and disappointing. So I understand, but just keep going. And then I've always worked on my side hustles. So I've always been blogging and YouTubing. I would sell stuff on eBay. There's still a bunch of stuff I need to go through and sell just to throw that additionally towards my debt. So yeah, any extra income that I'm able to get right now is going towards my debt. And for me, I don't want to live a life of like, oh, no spending, no vacations, nothing like that. Like that's the thing about Dave Ramsey's plan that I don't really like. He says to drive, I think he calls it a hoopty, which is like basically a piece of shit car. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to drive something that is possibly going to break down. Like, I live 22 miles from my job, so I'm not going to like risk my life by driving a horrible car or something more dangerous. Like, I want a newer car that is trustworthy. I want to be able to enjoy some weekends and buy some food. I want to go on, you know, the occasional weekend trip or buy some workout clothes. Like, I'm not going to live a life of like, oh no, I can't spend any money at all, because like, what's the point then? Like, you're going to be living like that for 5 to who knows how long, however many years. That's just, I don't want to do that. So I think the point more so is to just, of course, pay attention to this stuff, which I do, but still enjoy life and not stress about this, because it will eat you alive, and especially if you're in way more debt than I am. Anyways, I think that's all that I have to say here. Hopefully these videos will become helpful for a lot of you. The main person that I watch who does these types of videos is Asia Dang. I'll put her channel down below as well. Whenever I watch her monthly like budget and whatever debt updates, it just like motivates me even more. I'm like, how can I pay off more this month? Or, you know, how can I pay this off in 5 years versus 6 years, things like that. So I do really like watching these videos, so hopefully you guys kind of get the same idea with that. But that is it for this, and I'll do this again at the end of July and keep you updated. So thank you guys for watching, and comment down below if you have any debt or if you've gotten out of debt, things of that sort, and I will see you guys soon.